The huge areas of the world that have never been looked at by archaeology at all. Or if looked at by archaeology, looked at only minimally. Of course, the most important are the flooded continental shelves. And that's why Santa and I spent 7 years of our lives scuba diving all around the world.
Nestled at the westernmost edge of the Saurashtra Peninsula in what is now the state of Gujarat, India, the ancient city of Dwarka offers a narrative that is as rich in spirituality and mythology as it is in historical urban development.
The calculation is that 27 million square kilometers that was above water during the Ice Age is underwater now.
The city's strategic positioning near the confluence of the Gomati River and the Arabian Sea played a pivotal role not just in safeguarding it from potential invaders, but also in bolstering maritime trade and fostering connections with other parts of the ancient world. This geographical advantage, coupled with the city being enveloped by water on all sides, either as a peninsula or a series of islands, crafted a natural fortress that was a challenge for any adversary to overcome.
Most of human civilization has been organized around water, right? And as the water levels change, some of those ancient cities could be completely covered.
We did a lot of diving in southern India, so it was great for her to be able to talk in their own language to Tamil fishermen and Tamil divers and see if they'd seen any weird stuff underwater, which they certainly had.
Moreover, the Gomati River's proximity not only enhanced the city's scenic beauty, but also served as a crucial lifeline for its residents. Dwarka's urban landscape, as depicted in ancient texts, was nothing short of architectural grandeur. The city boasted of meticulously planned streets, a state-of-the-art drainage system, and formidable fortifications, all of which were divided into well-defined sectors for residential, commercial, and administrative purposes.
We know that it's been underwater for about 6,000 or 7,000 years, but the question is, how long before that was it made? How long did it stand there above water?
This level of urban planning and civil engineering sophistication showcases an advanced understanding of city management and infrastructure development, making Dwarka a marvel in ancient urban planning. The city's defensive structures, including a series of gates and fortifications, underscored the thoughtful defensive strategy employed in its construction. These were not merely architectural feats, but were strategically designed to regulate access and provide unwavering protection against invasions. Such architectural and strategic prowess points to a high degree of sophistication and indicates that Dwarka was a city that blended beauty with brains, making it a formidable entity in the ancient world.
You're coming across statues underwater, you're coming across columns underwater. It's just magical in diving on an underwater city.
Diving into the depths off the coast of modern-day Dwarka in Gujarat, India, archaeologists have embarked on marine explorations that have significantly advanced our understanding of the ancient city's grandeur and the sophisticated civilization that once flourished there. These underwater explorations have brought to light submerged structures, stone foundations, walls, pillars, and steps that many believe were part of the legendary Dwarka, a city of immense importance in Hindu scriptures. The discovery of such elaborate underwater architecture points towards the advanced engineering and construction techniques of the time, hinting at a society that was far ahead of its contemporaries in terms of urban planning and infrastructure development. The use of modern technology, including sonar scanning, diving explorations, and underwater photography, has been instrumental in mapping out the submerged city, providing us with a clearer picture of its complexity and the scale at which it operated. But the revelations don't stop at structures. A plethora of artifacts unearthed both from the seabed and land excavations near Dwarka tell tales of a culturally rich and economically prosperous society. The remnants of well-laid streets and an elaborate drainage system underscore a high degree of urban planning, indicative of a society that valued organization, environmental health, and the well-being of its citizens. Moreover, the variety of materials discovered suggests Dwarka was a bustling hub of trade and cultural exchange, maintaining connections with other civilizations of its time. This diversity not only showcases the city's economic vitality, but also its cultural openness and dynamism. But perhaps what's most fascinating is the chronological evidence unearthed through radiocarbon dating.
We have to accept that civilization in India is at least 5,000 years old. The largely and correctly discredited notion of an Aryan invasion of India needs to be abandoned.
Some artifacts and structural components of the submerged city have been dated back to the 2nd millennium BCE, aligning Dwarka's timeline with that of Lord Krishna, as described in traditional beliefs and ancient texts. This dating not only cements Dwarka's place as a significant cultural, religious, and economic center in the ancient world, but also bridges the gap between mythological narratives and historical reality. These archaeological findings offer a tangible framework to understand the evolution of urban settlements in ancient India, shedding light on societal structures, trade practices, and the cultural dynamics of the time. As we piece together clues from the past, Dwarka holds a special place in the tapestry of Hindu mythology and Indian ancient history, not just for its divine origins, but also for the mystery and majesty that encompass its story. At the heart of Dwarka's legend is its foundation by Lord Krishna, a pivotal figure in Hinduism revered across various traditions. The epic tales from the Mahabharata and the Bhagavata Purana tell us of Krishna's quest to protect his people from persistent threats, leading to the establishment of this city. It wasn't just a random choice. Krishna was strategic, opting for a location that offered natural defenses and prosperous living conditions for his subjects. Positioned on the western coast, Dwarka was a fortress against adversaries, thanks to its geographical advantages and access to vital sea routes that facilitated trade and communication. This city wasn't just a safe haven, it was a symbol of divine protection and ingenuity, blending spiritual significance with architectural splendor. The story of Dwarka, with its grand buildings and eventual mysterious submergence, captures the imagination, making it a subject of fascination and reverence. Dwarka, often hailed as the City of Gold in ancient scriptures, embodies not just the literal application of gold in its architecture, but also represents an era of unparalleled wealth, prosperity, and architectural ingenuity. This legendary city, with its palaces shimmering with gold and precious stones, grand public spaces, and formidable fortifications, stands as a testament to the zenith of ancient urban development and prosperity. The city's opulence wasn't confined to its material wealth. It extended to its sophisticated design and layout, which were attributed to Vishwakarma, the divine architect in Hindu mythology. Commissioned by Lord Krishna, Vishwakarma's vision for Dwarka was nothing short of architectural brilliance. The planning of Dwarka was meticulously executed, with distinct zones for residential quarters, marketplaces, temples, and public buildings. This segregation ensured that the city functioned efficiently, with each area serving its purpose without encroaching on another. The residential quarters, designed for comfort and accessibility, were likely constructed with not just security in mind, but also aesthetics, ensuring that the city's inhabitants lived in an environment that was safe, beautiful, and harmonious with nature. But perhaps the most captivating tale of Dwarka is its mysterious submergence.
The submergence of those sites is largely because of subsidence of land rather than sea level rise, because it's relatively recent.
Legend has it that following Lord Krishna's departure from this world, the city met its end, swallowed by the sea. This story isn't just a pivotal chapter in Hindu mythology, marking the end of an era and the onset of Kali Yuga. It has also piqued the interest of archaeologists and historians. Their underwater explorations near the modern city of Dwarka have unearthed submerged structures, offering a tangible link to the city's legendary past. These discoveries hint at the existence of a significant settlement that might have gradually succumbed to rising sea levels or other catastrophic events, giving some historical backbone to the mythological tales. The submergence of Dwarka is often seen through a symbolic lens, reflecting on the ephemeral nature of wealth and the inevitability of change. It reminds us that even the most splendid creations, no matter how grand or well-built, are not immune to the forces of time and nature. This story, rich with historical intrigue and mythological depth, continues to enchant and provoke thought, bridging the ancient with the present and the mythical with the real. This ancient architectural marvel, built in the 8th century under the patronage of King Krishna of the Rashtrakuta dynasty, stands as a monument not only to devotion and artistry, but also to an engineering prowess that seems almost superhuman.
I think we're confronted by an enormous mystery with megalithic sites all around the world. And we don't understand them properly.
With its elaborate carvings and grand scale, the Kailasa temple has sparked a captivating debate. Was this colossal structure really constructed using primitive tools of the age, or does it bear evidence of intervention by an advanced civilization, possibly beyond our earthly realm?
Some people think that the answer is extraterrestrial visitors. I don't think that's the answer, but who knows?
Tucked away in the basaltic hills of Maharashtra, the Ellora Caves complex is an architectural marvel of ancient India. Spanning from 600 to 1000 AD, these caves house a remarkable blend of Buddhist, Hindu, and Jain heritage. Among them, Cave 16, better known as the Kailasa Temple, stands out as the crowning glory of the site. Historically referred to as Veral, the area's location along ancient north-south trade routes undoubtedly played a critical role in its development. The Kailasa Temple, known for being the largest monolithic rock excavation in the world, showcases the advanced state of engineering and architectural skills during the 8th century. This temple was not built but rather carved top-down from a single massive rock, requiring meticulous planning and execution that speaks volumes about the capabilities of its creators.
There are unexplained issues in our past, which are presently not explained by the system that teaches us about the past.
Under the patronage of King Krishna I of the Rashtrakuta dynasty, the temple was commissioned around the mid-8th century. King Krishna I, also known as Krishna Rajaram, embarked on this ambitious project to emulate the sacred Mount Kailash, the mythological abode of Lord Shiva. The temple not only served as a place of worship, but also as a demonstration of the power and artistic aspiration of the Rashtrakutas. During a period of British colonial expansion in India, British officers often ventured on expeditions for leisure and exploration. It was during one such excursion that the lush, overgrown vegetation of the Maharashtra region, which had concealed the Ellora caves for centuries, finally gave way to one of the most significant archaeological discoveries in India.
A lot of archaeology that gets done doesn't get done because of a targeted search.
The year was 1819, and the caves, untouched and perfectly preserved as if in a time capsule, were stumbled upon accidentally by Captain John Smith and his party. The discovery by Captain Smith wasn't merely about uncovering a lost site, it was a revelation that peeled back the layers of India's rich and ancient civilization, which had thrived long before European powers set foot in the region. As Smith entered the caves, he was confronted with the grandeur of India's past, an intact cultural heritage that spoke volumes of its historical depth and complexity. However, Captain Smith left behind more than just the memory of his discovery. In what is now viewed as an act of historical vandalism, he inscribed his name and the date on a pillar inside Cave 10. At the time, such actions were common among explorers, who often left their marks as records of their presence. This graffiti, though frowned upon today, provided a tangible record marking the European discovery of the site and has since become a point of contention in discussions about heritage preservation versus the historical markers of colonial exploration. Following this accidental discovery, there was a renewed interest in the Ellora caves, leading to more systematic explorations and excavations. The Archaeological Survey of India, established in 1861, took on the mammoth task of excavating and preserving these ancient sites. Their efforts were crucial in maintaining the structural integrity and historical accuracy of the caves as they faced the dual pressures of time and increasing tourism. Detailed studies and documentation efforts were spearheaded by early explorers and scholars like James Burgess and later Ghulam Yazdani. Their meticulous work in cataloguing the sculptures, iconography, and architectural styles has been compiled into extensive reports and books, which remain invaluable resources for Indological studies today. This comprehensive documentation helps ensure that the Ellora caves, including the magnificent Kailasa temple, continue to be understood and appreciated not just as monuments, but as gateways to India's illustrious past. The Kailasa Temple, also known as Cave 16 at the Ellora Caves, truly stands as a testament to the ancient mastery of rock-cut architecture. This stunning structure isn't just a testament to grandeur, but also to a unique construction methodology that melds religious devotion with unmatched craftsmanship. Unlike traditional buildings constructed from the ground up, this temple was carved directly out of a single massive rock, a process that required not only extreme labor but also precise planning. The effort to remove approximately 200,000 tons of rock from the site underscores the monumental human endeavor that went into its creation, likely involving hundreds, if not thousands, of laborers across several generations.
Ancient cultures all around the world preserved a memory of a high civilization, of prehistory.
Symbolically, the temple mirrors Mount Kailasa, the mythical abode of Lord Shiva, suggesting that the architects intended to create a heavenly abode on earth. This ambition is evident not just in the temple's scale, but also in its elaborate multi-storied design, which features a rare vertical expansion in rock-cut architecture. Each floor is intricately adorned with carvings and statues that bring to life stories from Hindu mythology, especially those focusing on Lord Shiva, enhancing both the religious and aesthetic appeal of the temple. Comparing the Kailasa temple to the ancient city of Petra in Jordan highlights its unique features. While Petra is renowned for its impressive facades carved into rock faces, the Kailasa temple goes a step further. It is not just a facade, but a complete excavation, with intricate vertical carvings that make its interiors as spectacular as its exteriors. Unlike Petra's relatively plain interiors, the Kailasa temple is elaborately detailed, with entire floors, columns, and ceilings that are ornately decorated to reflect Hindu religious themes. The engineering behind the Kailasa temple also addresses some significant challenges, such as maintaining structural integrity while removing massive volumes of rock. The architects and engineers employed their deep understanding of geology and engineering to ensure the stability and durability of the remaining structures. They even incorporated an ingenious drainage system to prevent water accumulation and erosion during the region's heavy monsoon seasons. Moreover, strategic placements of openings and alignments within the temple structure allow natural light to flood its interiors, enhancing the spiritual and aesthetic experience for visitors. The layout also facilitates the circulation of air and movement of devotees, crucial during religious ceremonies. These intriguing aspects of the Kailasa temple, combined with the mysteries surrounding its construction, have fueled various theories about its origins and the techniques used in its elaborate design. From theories suggesting extraterrestrial influence to speculations about advanced ancient technologies or a network of secret chambers, the temple continues to be a subject of fascination and scholarly debate.
I think the dating of quite a number of megalithic sites needs to be reconsidered.
These discussions not only celebrate the architectural genius of the temple's creators, but also deepen our appreciation for this ancient marvel. Exploring the mysteries of the Kailasa temple at a more refined level reveals a range of fascinating theories that try to explain its incredible construction. One such theory suggests that the technology and precision required for its creation in the 8th century might hint at extraterrestrial influence or the use of advanced ancient technology that has since been lost. While this idea captivates the imagination, most scholars and archaeologists believe that the temple's construction was well within the capabilities of human ingenuity at the time, pointing to similar rock-cutting techniques used across India long before the temple was built. Another intriguing theory about the Kailasa temple involves the possibility of a network of secret tunnels and chambers beneath the complex. Local legends and some speculative reports suggest that these could have served as passages for religious ceremonies or as escape routes during invasions. However, thorough archaeological investigations have yet to confirm these claims, and the natural rocky terrain of the area makes such an extensive network rather unlikely. The alignment of the Kailasa temple with celestial bodies forms yet another theory. Some believe that the temple, like many ancient structures, was designed in alignment with certain stars or planets to harness cosmic energies during significant astronomical events such as solstices and equinoxes. While there are notable celestial alignments at other ancient sites that lend some support to this theory, concrete evidence linking the Kailasa temple's orientation with celestial events remains elusive. As these theories continue to pique curiosity and scholarly debate, the significance of preserving such a monumental site has never been clearer. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Ellora Caves, including the Kailasa Temple, are the focus of ongoing preservation efforts. These efforts are crucial in protecting the site's intricate carvings and magnificent structures from both natural elements and the impacts of modern-day tourism, ensuring that this ancient marvel can be appreciated for generations to come.
These colossal geoglyphs a breathtaking testament to the ingenuity and artistry of the pre-Inca Nazca civilization, are not merely lines in the sand, but a complex tapestry of symbols, figures, and geometric patterns, the purpose of which has remained a tantalizing enigma. Now, thanks to the revolutionary application of artificial intelligence, the Nazca Desert is yielding more of its secrets, with hundreds of previously unknown geoglyphs coming to light, deepening the mystery and potentially rewriting our understanding of this ancient culture. The Nazca culture flourished in the valleys and coastal regions of southern Peru from approximately 100 BC to 800 AD. They were a sophisticated society known for their intricate textiles, distinctive pottery featuring bold, often supernatural imagery, and their remarkable adaptation to the harsh desert environment. It was during this period, particularly in the initial Nazca period from 100 BC to 500 AD, that the creation of the geoglyphs began, a tradition that continued, it is now understood, up to the 15th century. The Nazca people transformed their arid landscape into a giant canvas. The process of creating the geoglyphs was deceptively simple. By removing the reddish-brown iron oxide-coated pebbles that cover the surface, they revealed the lighter-colored earth beneath, creating a striking contrast that has endured for centuries thanks to the region's extremely dry climate. However, the sheer scale and precision of many of these figures, some stretching over 1,200 feet, are astonishing, especially considering they were created without the benefit of an aerial perspective. For decades, researchers painstakingly analyzed aerial photographs and satellite imagery, searching for new geoglyphs. While this traditional method yielded results, it was a slow and arduous process, and many smaller, fainter, or eroded figures were undoubtedly missed. Enter artificial intelligence. Just as LiDAR technology has revolutionized archaeology by allowing us to see through dense vegetation and map ancient settlements, AI is now proving to be a game-changer in the study of the Nazca lines. AI algorithms, trained on vast datasets of known geoglyphs, can rapidly scan high-resolution satellite imagery, identifying subtle patterns and variations in the landscape that might elude the human eye. The results have been nothing short of spectacular. In a mere 6-month period, researchers using AI have identified a staggering 303 new geoglyphs in the Nazca Desert. This discovery nearly doubles the number of previously known geoglyphs, around 430, in an incredibly short span of time, highlighting the transformative potential of AI in archaeological research. The newly discovered geoglyphs offer a fresh window into the world of the Nazca people. While generally smaller and more eroded than the more famous lines, they predominantly fall into the figurative category and provide valuable insights into their iconography and possible belief systems. These figurative geoglyphs can be further classified into 2 distinct types. Line type. These are the larger, more prominent figures, often depicting animals such as birds, whales, and other creatures, some measuring up to an impressive 90 meters, 295 feet, in length. Their frequent location along ancient pathways suggests a connection to ceremonial processions or pilgrimages. The prominent ceremonial center of Cahuachi, a significant site for the Nazca people, may have been the destination for these journeys. This aligns with the theories of Maria Reiche, the German mathematician who dedicated her life to studying the Nazca lines. She believed many lines pointed to sources of water or were connected to rituals designed to invoke rainfall in this arid environment. Relief type. These geoglyphs are smaller and more intricately designed, often portraying humans, domesticated animals like llamas, or scenes from daily life. Their placement near informal footpaths suggests a more localized significance, perhaps serving as markers, communication tools, or a means of sharing information among smaller groups traveling through the area. They might represent clan symbols, territorial boundaries, or even narratives related to local myths and legends. One of the most intriguing new discoveries is a 72-foot-long geoglyph depicting an orca wielding a knife. This image resonates strongly with recurring themes found on Nazca pottery, where orcas are frequently associated with decapitation and human sacrifice. Severed heads, often referred to as trophy heads, are a prominent motif in Nazca art, and their presence in both pottery and geoglyphs suggests that ritual violence, possibly linked to fertility rites or ancestor worship, played a significant role in Nazca culture. Despite decades of research and speculation, the fundamental purpose of the Nazca lines remains an open question. Theories abound, ranging from astronomical alignments to ritual pathways to complex systems of water management. Astronomical significance. Paul Kosok, one of the first researchers to study the lines from the air, famously described them as the largest astronomy book in the world. He proposed that the lines were aligned with the solstices and equinoxes, serving as a giant celestial calendar. While this theory has been challenged, the possibility of some astronomical connections cannot be entirely ruled out. Ritual and water. Maria Reich, building on Kosok's work, championed the idea that the lines were intimately connected to water and fertility rituals. She believed that certain figures, particularly the animal geoglyphs, represented constellations associated with rain, and that the lines themselves might have been used in processions or ceremonies designed to invoke rainfall in this arid region. The prominence of water-related imagery, such as the orca and various aquatic birds, lends some support to this hypothesis. The application of AI to the study of the Nazca lines is ushering in a new era of discovery. Researchers are currently analyzing the vast amount of new data generated by the recent findings, and their work, detailed in a recently published paper, promises to shed further light on the meaning and purpose of these enigmatic creations. The ultimate goal is to create a comprehensive digital map of all the geoglyphs in the region, with estimates suggesting that as many as 250 more may still be hidden beneath the desert sands. The prospect of an interactive map, potentially integrated with platforms like Google Earth, is particularly exciting. Such a tool would not only be invaluable for researchers but also revolutionize public engagement with this extraordinary UNESCO World Heritage Site, allowing people around the world to explore the Nazca lines virtually and connect with this ancient wonder in a new and immersive way.
An example I often give is the Indus Valley civilization. Nobody actually knew that it existed until it was accidentally discovered while a railway was built. And then they found that there were these actually very, very sophisticated, very complex mud brick structures on a very large scale. Then they found that this culture had a language, a fully developed written script. We can't read that script. The script exists, but we can't read it.
The story of the Indus Valley civilization, one of the earliest cradles of urban life, reads like a mystery novel filled with climatic twists, geological turns, and the shadowy figures of invaders. As we dive deep into the annals of ancient history, this civilization's gradual fade from the vibrant urban entity it once was around 1900 BCE to mere remnants by 1300 BCE has puzzled scholars and history buffs alike. Let's explore some of the intriguing theories that have emerged over the years for why this civilization suddenly vanished. Imagine living in a city where the once reliable monsoon rains start becoming erratic around 2200 BCE. This wasn't just inconvenient, it was catastrophic. The Indus Valley people, whose agricultural prowess depended on these rains, faced reduced yields and possibly famine as a result. Imagine rivers, the lifelines of your trade and agriculture, changing course due to tectonic shifts. Cities that were once bustling hubs of trade and culture could no longer sustain their populations. This wasn't just about less water for crops. Entire trade routes were disrupted, especially those with Mesopotamia, putting further strain on an already struggling economy. Now add to this scenario the threat of earthquakes. These weren't just minor tremors, but possibly significant quakes that could alter river courses, destroy sophisticated drainage systems, and turn well-planned cities into inhabitable ruins. The very foundations of urban life were literally and figuratively shaken. For a time, the theory of an invasion by nomadic Aryans gained traction, suggesting a dramatic end to the Indus Valley civilization. This theory, rooted in ancient texts like the Rig Veda, depicted a clash between the invading nomads and the settled peoples of the Indus Valley. However, the absence of clear archaeological evidence of such an invasion suggests that the civilization's decline was more a slow burn than a sudden collapse. Amidst these external pressures, internal societal and economic factors were at play. The strain of maintaining extensive urban centers, alongside depleting resources, could have led to social unrest and made these cities unsustainable. As trade with distant lands dwindled, possibly due to emerging competitors or shifts in trade routes, the economic backbone of the civilization weakened. When the British were laying down the tracks for the Indian railway system in the 19th century, they stumbled upon something extraordinary. ruins made of well-crafted bricks in the Punjab region. Little did they know these bricks were the remnants of the Indus Valley civilization, a society that had vanished thousands of years before. At first, these ancient bricks found a new purpose under the wheels of progress, quite literally being used in railway construction. It's a bit ironic when you think about it, an ancient civilization helping to lay the foundations for modern transportation, all while its own story was buried in oblivion. Enter Alexander Cunningham in the 1870s, a man who could be seen as a detective in the realm of history. As the founder of the Archaeological Survey of India, Cunningham was among the first to take a scholarly interest in these ruins. However, even with his reports, the true significance of what they had found wasn't fully grasped. The pieces of the puzzle were there, but the picture was yet to be seen. The plot thickens with Sir John Marshall, who took the helm of the ASI in the early 20th century. Under Marshall's direction, the ASI turned its gaze to the prehistoric past, setting the stage for a discovery that would challenge the narratives of urban civilization's origins. It was Daya Ramsani who, in 1921, began excavating at Harappa, and soon after, Rakal Das Banerjee laid bare the wonders of Mohenjo-Daro. These sites revealed to the world a civilization of astonishing complexity and sophistication, with well-planned cities, advanced drainage systems, and a plethora of artifacts that spoke of a rich cultural life. The discoveries of Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro were like opening a window to an ancient world, showcasing the architectural and cultural achievements of the Indus Valley civilization. This was a society that had its unique script still undeciphered, and urban planning that could rival any contemporary city today. The Great Bath of Mohenjo-Daro, with its watertight construction, hinted at a society that placed significant emphasis on cleanliness and possibly ritual purification. As more archaeologists joined the fray, Ernest Mackay, Madho Sarup Vats and Mortimer Wheeler to name a few, the knowledge of this ancient civilization expanded. Each excavation across the Indus Valley region brought new insights. The narrative of the Indus Valley civilization challenged the then prevailing notion that complex urban life began solely with Mesopotamia and Egypt. Here was evidence of a parallel society that had flourished and then, for reasons still debated, declined and disappeared, leaving behind a legacy buried under the earth. Let's take a stroll back in time to explore Harappa, a city that once thrived in what's now the Punjab province of Pakistan. This ancient metropolis wasn't just any old city, it was a cornerstone of the Indus Valley civilization, bustling with life between 2600 BCE and 1900 BCE. The story of Harappa's discovery is as fascinating as the city itself. Initially spotted during the 19th century, it wasn't until the British were laying down railway tracks in the 1850s that Harappa began to reveal its secrets. Ironically, bricks from this ancient city were used in the construction of the railway, unknowingly dismantling a piece of history for the sake of progress. Fast forward to the 1920s when Sir John Marshall and his team of archaeologists took a closer look and realized Harappa was part of something much bigger. They uncovered a city so advanced it would rewrite our understanding of urban planning in ancient times. Imagine walking through streets laid out in a perfect grid, with main roads up to 30 feet wide intersecting at right angles. This wasn't a haphazard settlement. It was a city built with precision and forethought, showcasing remarkable engineering skills. Harappa's infrastructure was nothing short of revolutionary. The city boasted an advanced drainage system, with covered drains along the main streets and smaller ones connecting from individual homes. This emphasis on cleanliness and public health is something many modern cities could learn from, and the buildings, all constructed with standardized baked bricks, stood as a testament to the Harappans' knowledge of materials engineering, giving the city a unified look. But Harappa wasn't just about impressive streets and sanitation. The city was alive with bustling granaries, which were central to its food storage and distribution system. These weren't just any granaries. They were massive structures located near the city's heart, hinting at a well-organized governance system that ensured the population was well-fed. Diving into the everyday lives of Harappans, we find a society that valued comfort and cleanliness. Houses, ranging from simple dwellings to more elaborate homes, often had their own wells and bathrooms. This level of domestic luxury suggests a society where social stratification was present, but also one that placed a high importance on individual welfare. And then there are the artifacts, the seals engraved with animal figures and an undeciphered script that hint at a complex system of communication, trade, administration, or perhaps even ritual. The pottery and tools unearthed in Harappa, from utility wares to beautifully decorated pieces, reflect the diverse occupations and crafts practiced in the city, painting a picture of a vibrant, bustling community. Harappa was more than just a city. It was a beacon of urban civilization, showcasing advancements that were unparalleled for its time. Its discovery and excavation have not only provided us with a glimpse into ancient urban life, but also challenged our perceptions of ancient civilizations and their capabilities. Nestled in the Sindh province of Pakistan lies Mohenjo-Daro, a site that's not just an archaeological treasure but a testament to the architectural genius of the Indus Valley civilization. This city, one of the most iconic remnants of ancient urban life, gives us a sneak peek into the lives of its people, their societal structure, and their unparalleled urban planning. The city was cleverly divided into two main areas: the lower city, bustling with residential and commercial life, and the Acropolis, where public and ceremonial buildings stood. This division speaks volumes about the level of organization and planning that went into Mohenjo-Daro. It wasn't just a cluster of buildings, it was a thoughtfully laid out city, designed for efficiency and order, with distinct zones dedicated to different aspects of daily life. But let's talk about the Great Bath, the crown jewel of Mohenjo-Daro. Imagine a large, watertight pool, meticulously constructed for religious purification rituals. Surrounded by corridors and rooms, the Great Bath wasn't just an architectural marvel. It was a central piece of the city's spiritual and communal life, emphasizing the importance of water not just for survival, but as a sacred element in their culture. The people of Mohenjo-Daro were master craftsmen, their skills shining through in the intricate beadwork, finely crafted metal objects, and beautiful pottery discovered at the site. These artifacts were not merely utilitarian. They bore the marks of artistic excellence and possibly held deeper symbolic meanings for their creators. The variety and quality of these items suggest a society that valued not only function, but form and beauty, integrating them into their everyday lives. Moreover, Mohenjo-Daro was a bustling economic center. The numerous seals, weights, and measures found among the ruins hint at a complex economy that thrived on both local and long-distance trade. This was a city that was not isolated. It was connected, engaging in commerce with distant lands, showcasing its economic prowess and its role as a significant player in the ancient world. Mohenjo-Daro, with its advanced urban planning and sophisticated architectural elements, stands as a shining example of the ingenuity of the Indus Valley civilization. Welcome to the mysteries of Sigiriya, the ancient sky fortress perched high above the jungles of Sri Lanka. Imagine a towering rock rising 660 feet into the sky, topped with a palace that seems to touch the clouds. But the questions that boggle the mind are, why and how did ancient humans build such an awe-inspiring structure, complete with a vast body of water high above the ground? In today's video, we'll climb the steps of Sigiriya, uncover its hidden secrets, and explore the incredible engineering feats of the past. Stay tuned as we unravel how this fortress was not just a marvel of beauty, but a masterpiece of ancient technology. Did you know that the stunning Sigiriya, or Lion Rock, has a story that reaches deep into the history of Sri Lankan royalty? This tale begins in the 5th century AD, chronicled vividly in the ancient Kulavamsa. This epic documents the saga of King Kasyapa, who ruled from 477 to 495 CE. In a dramatic twist of events, Kasyapa seized the throne from his half-brother Moggallana, setting the stage for a story of intrigue and architectural marvel. To safeguard himself against potential retaliation, Kasyapa moved the capital from Anuradhapura to the formidable Sigiriya rock. There, atop a 200-meter-high granite monolith, he commissioned the construction of a fortress and a luxurious palace, a clear display of his wealth and a testament to his architectural vision. However, after the fall of Kasyapa's dynasty, Sigiriya slipped into the shadows, cloaked by dense forest overgrowth and fading from collective memory. It wasn't until 1831 that the site re-emerged into the spotlight. That year, Major Jonathan Forbes of the 78th Highlanders, part of the British Army, rediscovered Sigiriya during a horseback expedition through the central forests of what was then Ceylon, now known as Sri Lanka. Stumbling upon this magnificent rock fortress and its ruins, Forbes's findings reignited global interest. His detailed writings and sketches brought Sigiriya back from obscurity, captivating colonial officials and scholars alike, and paving the way for future archaeological explorations. Following the rediscovery of Sigiriya by Major Jonathan Forbes, the archaeological spotlight turned toward this enigmatic structure, leading to its eventual excavation. The initial efforts to study Sigiriya were rather haphazard, lacking a systematic approach typical of early antiquarian activities in the region. However, a significant shift occurred in 1895 when HCP Bell, the first Commissioner of Archaeology for Ceylon and a British archaeologist, took charge. Bell's structured investigations laid the groundwork for understanding Sigiriya's complex layout and rich historical tapestry, illuminating various facets of its construction and artistic achievements. As the 20th century progressed, the Department of Archaeology of Sri Lanka took the helm, bringing a new level of rigor to the exploration of Sigiriya. These systematic archaeological excavations really began to take shape by the mid-century, further accelerated when Sigiriya was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in the 1980s. This period marked intense activities that included detailed mapping of the site, careful excavation of the gardens, and meticulous restoration of the ancient frescoes. Speaking of frescoes, these vibrant paintings on Sigiriya's western face are truly a sight to behold. Depicting celestial maidens known as apsaras, these artworks showcase the exceptional skill of ancient Sri Lankan artists. Created with natural mineral pigments, these frescoes have withstood the ravages of time, their colors still vivid after more than 1,000 years. Their creation technique, reminiscent of the fresco secco method seen in India's Ajanta caves, highlights a shared artistic tradition across the region, though Sigiriya's frescoes have a unique stylistic flair that seems to capture the maidens in ethereal motion, as if floating in the air. The site's water gardens are yet another marvel. Unearthed through diligent excavation, these gardens reveal an intricate hydraulic system featuring pools, pavilions, and dynamically engineered fountains. This level of sophistication in water management suggests comparisons with the legendary Hanging Gardens of Babylon, illustrating that such engineering marvels were not confined to the Western world. Sigiriya's gardens were not only aesthetically pleasing but also a demonstration of advanced hydraulic technology and urban planning by ancient engineers. Then there's the mirror wall, originally so well polished that it reflected King Kasyapa's image as he passed. Over centuries, this wall became a canvas for the thoughts and musings of visitors, covered in inscriptions that date back to the 6th century. These writings, ranging from poetry to personal reflections, provide a unique glimpse into the minds of ancient travelers, similar to modern-day guestbooks. This tradition of leaving one's mark is a human impulse seen across cultures and epochs, evident in places as far-reaching as the pyramids of Giza, where ancient graffiti also tells stories of those who came before us. Exploring further into the architectural wonders of Sigiriya, let's delve into why this location was chosen for such a grand fortress. The natural setting of Sigiriya itself offers some clues. Rising about 200 meters above the plains, the sheer height of this massive rock column provided unparalleled defensive benefits. This elevation was not just daunting for potential invaders to scale, but it also offered inhabitants a broad vantage point, allowing them to see for miles and spot any approaching threats long before they reached the fortress. The rock's steep and rugged sides further shielded the fortress, making direct assaults nearly impossible without advanced siege techniques. Just above the water gardens, the boulder gardens of Sigiriya paint a vivid picture of how natural landscapes were skillfully incorporated into the fortress's design. This area is dotted with large, naturally occurring boulders that have been cleverly integrated into the overall layout. Winding pathways snake around these colossal stones, leading to hidden nooks and strategic lookout points. These boulders weren't just pleasing to the eye, they played a crucial role in the fortress's defense, acting as natural barriers and fortified posts. This strategic use of natural rock formations is somewhat akin to the serene rock gardens of Ryoanji in Kyoto, Japan. Although both gardens feature natural stones, Sigiriya's boulder gardens were primarily designed for defense and control, while Ryoanji's layout aims for contemplation and aesthetic appreciation. Climbing higher, the terraced gardens mark the final stages of the ascent to Sigiriya's summit. Here, a series of staircases and pathways are carved directly into the rock face. not only facilitating access to the top but also allowing for the cultivation of gardens and the construction of small structures along the way. These terraces seamlessly integrate the sheer cliffs into the fortress's architecture, showcasing the ingenuity of ancient Sri Lankan architects who transformed a challenging environment into a livable and defensible space. This method of using terraces can be compared to the ancient Incan city of Machu Picchu, which also features gardens cut into mountainous terrain. Both Sigiriya and Machu Picchu utilized the verticality of their landscapes to enhance agriculture, habitation, and defense, demonstrating a deep understanding of how to adapt architecture to the natural environment effectively. As we've ascended through the layered terraces and lush gardens of Sigiriya, it's impossible not to marvel at its defensive capabilities, which are as impressive as its architecture. The entire fortress was safeguarded by a massive moat and towering walls. The approach to the rock itself was ingeniously designed to be narrow, funneling potential attackers into a tight space where they could be more easily repelled. Throughout the fortress, large boulders were strategically placed, ready to be rolled down on invaders, and certain staircases were cleverly designed to be easily removable or destroyed, preventing enemy progression. At the pinnacle of Sigiriya, extensive residential quarters once stood, serving as the royal abode for King Kasyapa and his retinue. These buildings were robustly constructed from bricks and stones, with some walls still resiliently standing. The stone blocks used in construction, though their exact weight is unknown, are estimated to weigh several tons each, hinting at the remarkable effort that went into their assembly. To create a flat area on the summit, large amounts of rock and soil were excavated, likely requiring immense manpower and possibly even elephant power, underscoring the vast resources at King Kasyapa's command. Drawing an interesting parallel, the construction feats of Sigiriya can be likened to those of the Incas' Machu Picchu in Peru. Both iconic structures were built in demanding locations, yet they demonstrate an extraordinary ability to blend architectural elements with the natural landscape. Machu Picchu, nestled between mountain peaks and featuring agricultural terraces and planned residential areas, echoes Sigiriya's integration of form and function within its environment. The scale of material moved and the meticulousness of Sigiriya's construction spotlight its stature as a marvel of ancient urban planning and engineering. More than just a military stronghold, Sigiriya symbolized royal authority and divine kingship, with its strategic defenses, luxurious residential quarters, and enchanting pleasure gardens all set against the backdrop of ingenious human innovation. This combination not only fortified the fortress physically, but also enshrined it as an indelible symbol of cultural and historical significance in ancient Sri Lanka.